Well then, that settled that. I wasn't ready, but okay. Hi guys, how's it going? I'm so sorry I'm late, but this is every week. Good evening, Beak. How are you, Beak? Hi, Larry. Larry, how are you here? You're not supposed to be here. No. Go. Hi, Suka. Super Suka. Suka Belad. Hi, Samuel. Well, Samuel's already here. He's in the back. Juju, no empieces. Don't start. See, as soon as I start, she was sleeping. And as soon as I start talking to you guys, now she's like, oh, my time to be a psycho. All right. Hi, Fix. How are you, Fix? Hi, Jeremy. Jeremy says, glad they let you back after last week. What happened last week? Probably what happens every week. I mean, are there any weeks that are different? I mean, let's just be real. I'm offensive every week, guys. This is not something that's new. So when you're telling me something like, oh, after last week, it's just another week. It's just another week in my world. I'm always this. I don't know how to be anything else. Hi, Mind Victory. Hola, Catherine. Hi, Carrie. Get in the corner. Good in the corner, Carrie. You already know. Hi, Tim. I've received your guys' emails as well. Hi, Michael. The American friend. There you go. See, I didn't know that my name was so American until you guys started calling me America. I love it. Hi, Logical Spock. Oh, the playing of the music. Oh, that's right. That's what happened. The reason I was confused is because last week I had a video removed from another network. So I think I was on a rampage last week. And I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I have weeks where I get out of line. Okay. The Lapeef Network. So I did a video on the Lapeef Network and I spoke to you all briefly before I did it. I said I was going to speak about women's hygiene and the differences of hygiene between the races. And apparently it was too offensive because Lapeef took down my video. So apparently, yeah, I was on a rampage last week. I don't know what was going on, guys. I have, you guys know, I have the time. Lapeef, can you stop speaking about my network that way? Hi, bad brother. So I'm going to apologize in advance to you all. It won't be a long stream tonight because clearly we're starting late, and secondly, I'm tired. I'm very tired. I'm just really sleepy, and I feel like going to sleep. So you guys have to forgive me. It won't be much of a stream tonight. It's just going to be. And another thing is that Larry has taken time off. It's not going to be paid, Larry. I hope you're not thinking this is paid time off. Larry took time off because Larry has
She doesn't pay us, folks.
Samuel, see, this is the reason why I should never let anyone have the key. This is the reason why. Samuel, stop exposing me. Larry, you're not getting paid time off. But Larry is taking a break today, so I am on my own. And yeah, I'm reading you guys'. Larry says, I don't take credit for your name being Americanized. I learned it from the best bride on YouTube. Stop it. You're gonna make me see. You guys are gonna make me get rowdy if you guys do that. Stop it. Don't be so kind to me. I'm an animal. You can't be kind to animals. Like they say, don't feed the animals, don't feed me, because I'll start losing my mind. I'll start doing things I shouldn't do. All right, so since we're all here, and I know it's late, I know it's very late, guys, but thank you for joining me. Since we're all here, I wanted to speak briefly about the topic. Watch, I say that this is going to be a brief stream and it turns into 3 hours. All right, since we're all here, and I told you guys in the title that I wanted to speak about anti-discrimination. I want to speak about anti-discrimination because recently, because you guys know I am not afraid to speak about race. I'm not afraid to speak about politics. I'm not afraid to speak about religion. Actually, these things, when people get upset about them, it actually brings me pleasure in a way. Tell me I'm not the only one who's like this, but it brings me pleasure. Why? Because these are things that impact our lives. They affect us, but we try to act like they don't. We're like, no, 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 these things don't matter. It's fine. But truthfully, they impact you. So anyway, this is why I like to speak about these things. Now, Samuel just had his 50th show on his channel, his 50th episode of his Saturday night shows, and I hope you guys were there to join it. If you didn't join it live, you can always go check it out because I believe it's still up on his channel. So Samuel the Infamous is his channel, and check it out if you like. I'm going to go over there and check it out myself because I unfortunately could not make it. Hi, Biro. Afik says she likes abuse. Well then, okay, all right. So I don't even know where to go from there. That took me out for a second. All right. So anti-discrimination, right? Anti-discrimination is something I wanted to speak about because I recently had a conversation online. Well, actually, you know how you have online fights with people, with random people you don't know, and always on YouTube or whatever social media, if you have a fight with someone or you have a disagreement with someone online, their number one thing to say to you is, you dumb arse, you idiot, you moron. People love to call each other morons for no good reason. There's no good reason to call someone a moron just because they disagree with you on something. But online, I've noticed this is kind of a tact for people to make themselves feel smarter than what they are. So it's almost as if I'm having an argument with you, yeah? You disagree with me, yeah? And I'm going to call you an idiot because I want to make myself look smarter than you, yeah? So in that way, I win. Does that make sense? This is what happens a lot of times online. And this is what happened recently. So I was having a debate online with someone who was calling me an idiot and a moron because that's what people do online. And we were talking about discrimination and racism the other way. So there was a video online. There was a Black family, and they had a white mother or a white stepmother. So the white stepmother walks into the room, into the kitchen, and the Black family looks at the white stepmother and says something like, you're spreading your ghostliness around this house, like, joking about her skin being pale and them being dark. So she's like, so she just walks in and they just started like, saying things like, oh, you're spreading your ghostliness around the house. Like you look like a ghoul walking around the house, or look like some kind of a spirit walking around the house because you're white. What I commented on that video, because I can't contain myself, I commented saying, oh, that's funny, but if we did it the other way around, would you all be still laughing at the joke? So someone comes along to me and tells me, hi, Jason. Someone comes along on this video and comes to me and says, it was done the other way around. It was called slavery. Ha ha ha. And now you think that's funny? These are the type of things that I want to speak about, because it's always funny when jokes are aimed at white people. But if we say those same jokes the opposite way around, all of a sudden, oh, my slavery. Oh, my discrimination. Oh, my racism. So I love race jokes. I love a good race joke myself. And I'm sure you guys can appreciate a good race joke too, because this is the crowd that we are. We love enjoying jokes that are edgy, just on the brink of being offensive, because that's what makes it so real and it's so true, right? But we aren't allowed to do that one way around. Does that make sense? We can't do it back to them. They can only do it to us. Anti-discrimination, that's not what it is, but what I want to speak about started there because of that conversation. But anti-discrimination is a little bit more serious, you could say. It's a little bit more serious than that. And the more serious points of anti-discrimination is where we have a society that is so sensitive on the brown and black side, but so tolerant and passive on the white side. On the white side is very tolerant and passive because there's almost no way to offend white people, right? Calling them a cracker isn't really that offensive. I mean, I don't see many white people going like, oh, call me a cracker. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I don't see that. But if we use words that are stronger on the other side, well, I know. So maybe that's part of the reason why people feel that white people, it doesn't matter what you say to them because white people have that one word that can be used as like a trump all. I don't know. But anti-discrimination is going a lot further. It's going into the schools. As you guys know, schools now are banning white people a lot of times. There's a school in Evergreen College, whatever, in Washington. This school banned white people for a day. And if you didn't participate, if you were white and you didn't participate in your own banning, then you were considered a racist or what have you. This is into the education system, into the workplace, into everything. Just the other day or last weekend, I was just sharing with you guys the email that I received from one of you Pride members saying that you received an email talking about diversity, equity, not equality, equity, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, diversity just means the lack of white people. That's basically what it means. It doesn't mean that there's whites and then there's this. It just means lack of white. I made a video a while back talking about this. There was a black lady. You know what? Actually, we could probably watch it together. There was a black lady. She was talking about hotels. You know, she was a black lady with a little afro and she was very heavyset, very overweight. Now, she was speaking about her hotel experiences, and she said that hotels are racist or discriminatory because they do not give options for shampoos that are for ethnic hair. When she means ethnic hair, she means African American hair because ethnic, it doesn't make sense. Because ethnic could be Asian, could be Latino, could be Indian, could be, but nobody else has that type of hair except African Americans. Well, I have seen some like Irish people who have like the tight curly hair, but not as curly as Afro hair. So this woman, she was a heavyset black woman complaining about hotels, saying that they are discriminating against her because they never give options for shampoos that cater to black people hair. A hotel chain has to change everything for one group of people, for, I would even argue, one of the smallest group of peoples, because Indians and Asians are the most common people you ever see on this planet. And none of them have that type of hair. So anyway, she said that, and this is part of the whole anti-discrimination thing. And she's like, you know, the world doesn't care about black people, so why should we care about white people? She started making these very racist jokes towards white people, talking about how ugly their hair is and so on and so forth, never acknowledging the fact that the majority of the world has hair like white people. The majority of the world does not have Afro hair. So even though a lot of black groups like to add brown and yellow and red people into the whole black, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Every time you see a black person say black and brown bodies, black and brown bodies, black and brown bodies, the truth is black is different, very much different from the brown. The brown is very different from the yellow. The yellow is different from and when I use these colors, you guys understand who I'm talking about. Okay, let's be real. Don't be offended. But anyway, so this is what the black people like to do. They like to add brown into their fight by basically saying, you know, join us brown people in the fight for black people because we are together in this. Truth is, no, we're not. We're not together in this. Nobody is together. And when it comes down to races, I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see Asians claiming Latinos are one of them. I don't see Latinos claiming that. You understand. Latinos don't claim Arabs. Arabs don't claim whites don't claim everybody else. It's just, I don't see that. So for black people to always claim black and brown, trying to clump in everybody else with them, and they have different struggles, it doesn't work. The anti-discrimination laws apply to everyone. And this is where I believe white people are not taking advantage of their rights when it comes to the legality of the workplace, of the schoolhouse, all of these things. These could be lawsuits if white people actually stood up for their rights and said, just because we're white doesn't mean that it's a free for all on our race. It doesn't mean that you can just stomp all over us just because you feel that your ancestors were not treated right or they weren't what have you in the past, because I am not my ancestor and neither are you. So anti-discrimination laws apply to everyone. I'm going to read your comments because I'm hoping that you guys are following me. If I need to clarify, I don't mind clarifying. Biro, black folks are not a monolith as some may think. Exactly. And this is another thing. It's like Africans don't even claim Caribbeans. Caribbeans don't claim the American black. So having all of this, like, oh, this label of people of color. No, people of color is not a thing. That is not a thing, because what people of color just means everybody who's not white. But everybody who's not white is not a group. You can't just group everyone here and have whites in their own island over there. That's not how society works. It's not how the world works. Suka says it's not my fault their ancestor was weaker. This is what I say about the Native Americans. Oh my gosh, Native Americans are going to hate me. But I've always said this about the Native Americans. I've always said Native Americans were the ones who lost the war. And everybody says, well, the war was unfair because white people had more technology. Okay. It's not their fault. It is not their fault that the Native Americans didn't get it together before they came. What, were the white people supposed to wait until the Native Americans caught up to their level of technology so then it could be a fair fight? It would have, they still would have lost. But still, it's like this was a war that happened and those people lost, and now this country is the greatest country on earth because of them losing. Nonetheless, Dex, Irish have been persecuted for hundreds of years, especially here in America. Let's not even speak about the Scots, the Irishmen, the Polish. They were seen as lazy. Well, the Scottish were very lazy. I'm sorry for those with Scottish ancestry, but Scots are known for being very lazy. They don't like to work. And if you know, in the southern United States, many people like the British who came here and settled here, they didn't want to be even associated with the Scots because those were the people who were considered to be the crackers. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The lower class white people in America before everybody got lumped into white because of the whole population thing. But before, not everyone was considered white that's considered white today. Before, Scots, Polish, Italians, Irish, they were not considered white. They were considered that. So anyway, there's a long history, and I've studied this history in America because race in America is a very good subject, because in no other country have we had races mix the way they do in America. So this is like a study on society, tribalism, and racism. If you really want to, Nate says, this is by design. So much of this echoed in news, film, TV, and social media. It's being used to divide us so we are easier to control. Now, I would agree with you there, Nate, if you were speaking about politics or if you were speaking about even sex. I mean, like sex as in gender. I would agree with you. But the reason I don't agree with you there is because I don't believe that there is a force trying to separate the races as much as races separate themselves, because we are very tribal as humans. Don't you agree? as humans, we will naturally separate ourselves. We naturally go off into our own and stay with our own people. Roderick, he says, you cannot say that. You can't say Native Americans lost the war. That is blatant racism. Well, welcome to the club. I mean, I don't understand how it's racist, but I mean, I guess everything is racist, isn't it now? The reason I say it's not racist is because I'm not saying something that's hateful towards a race. I'm saying the truth of history. So I guess history is racist too. History is very racist. History is cruel. Whatever happened in the past, I know a lot of people, especially with our modern sensitivities, our modern, you know how we are as modern humans. We're very soft. We're very much like, but people don't understand that back in those times, brutality was life. People died out in the streets all the time, and it was just a normal sight to see corpses laying out outside. It was a normal thing. Today, we don't live that way, so now we're all soft and we're like, oh my gosh, somebody died, somebody killed somebody, when dying is a part of life. But anyway, 1 minute. He could have been actually joking, guys, because people are talking to what's his name, Roderick. He could have been joking. Who knows? You know, it could have been satire. So who knows? Because there's nothing really racist about what I said. It's actually proven. Like, what you're saying, that they did win? The guy said saying that the Native Americans lost is racist. So should I say that they won? Because I don't see us walking around smoking pipes and living in teepees. I see us living the American life because it's America. So I don't know. I know a lot of people feel sad about it. I know a lot of people feel very sad and they think it's unfair. The world is unfair. Nothing will be equal. Like, equality is not going to exist ever. That's why they made up that new thing of equity. Equity is forcing equality no matter what. Like, equity is like, equality is giving people the same chances, the same opportunities, right? Equity is basically like taking away opportunities for the upper people who are succeeding in order to make the lower people catch up to them. Does that make sense? It's forced equality, where it's like, oh, you're succeeding, I'm going to put you down so that the lower people can have a chance to rise up. That has nothing to do with race, by the way. That's just, for those just thinking it's about race, it's not about race. Nate says, I agree. Our natural instinct is to be tribal, Amira, right? But race has always been used by the powers that be to divide us. Has religion, politics, and social status. Oh, as has religion, politics, and social status. I believe we divide ourselves, Nate. I don't believe that the powers that be need to do much in that aspect. When it comes to sex, yes. When it comes to social status, yes. When it comes to wealth, yes. I believe that is created by people who trying to control the masses. But when it comes to tribalism, I think that we naturally do that. But you know what? It could be a little bit of both. I'm not saying that I'm wrong or you're wrong. I'm just giving you my point of view. What were you guys saying? Curls? What are you guys talking about? She says, but she has admitted that her hair curls up. She's racist. Who are you guys talking about? Who are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? Oh, here we go. When Amira's hair curls, it's cultural appropriation against the African American community. I actually put the curls in my hair. It's not, well, I do. So okay, God, why are we talking about this? This is not about me, but you guys have seen me actually curl my hair and make it kind of poofy. I actually do that to myself. Now, the only curls that come naturally to my hair is like last week. If you look in last week's video, my hair, I'll make it straight like this. So my hair starts off straight, and then the ends start slowly curling around itself after, the next day, or after a few hours, it just starts curling on itself. But yes, I don't know what that has to do. How is that racist? Oh my God. Is that cultural appropriation too? No one else can have curly hair? Guys, you guys see? Oh my God. Nate says, I agree, Amira. It does not take much to stoke the fires. I've seen that in America, we have anti-discrimination laws. The anti-discrimination laws in this country are well used and well, I don't know what the word would be, but they are used by mostly Black people and I guess you could say minorities, Latinos, what have you. My argument today with you all, and you can disagree or you can agree, my argument today with you all is this. White people are not taking advantage of the anti-discrimination laws in order to fight back against the liberalism that's taking hold of this country today. The laws that we have in place today are not just for Black people, for anti-discrimination. White people can also take advantage of this in order to combat the leftist agenda that we have taken hold in our educational institutions, in the workplace, in our everywhere. I mean, wherever you go, this is very common, even in Hollywood and so on. But that's because of so anti-discrimination laws do not just apply to Black people, is what I'm trying to tell white people. Because I've noticed that white people do not speak out against what's happening. The majority of them do not speak out against the blatant racism towards their people. Dex, can you address my last few? Give me a second. I have to go back up. I've heard that history books were changed to clarify for modern times. Oh, that's common. I mean, we all know history books. Do you guys know that they have changed the history books today? Like, even history books from when we were kids are not the same as today. They change all the history to make it a softer version or to make it crueler towards Black people. Does that make sense? I know I'm not supposed to say that. But it's all about the victimization and to get young minorities to hate white people because supposedly white people are the people running the world and these are the people that are evil. But the truth is, these are the people that are evil. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I know. Listen, I'm going to share something with you guys, okay? Don't call me racist. Don't call me racist, but here I go with my racism. Watch. This group of people, right? This group of people have been kicked out of every country that accepted them in to date. They have been kicked out of 108 countries. Who am I talking about? Every country that has accepted them in to their borders to date has kicked them out. The number of countries that have kicked this group of people out is 108. Who am I talking about? I'm just saying, there's a reason why people are kicking people out. And look, all I'm saying is that the world can't be wrong. If every country comes to a consensus that this group of people needs to get out of their country, I think we're onto something. There's religious books speaking about these people and what's wrong with them. I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying, okay? Look. So when we're talking about racism, our media, Hollywood, our news, everything is controlled by banking systems. Everything is controlled by these countries. 108 kick these people out for a reason. Okay, I'm just saying. In America, we just let it just run rampant, and now we see what we have. Immorality everywhere. And I have a theory, but I'm not allowed to speak. I have good news, guys. I forgot to tell you guys something. I have really good news. Are you guys ready? I can stream on Rumble now. I have reached the 100 subscriber threshold. Do you guys know I can go crazy now? I can do my dream. I can do what I've always wanted to do. We are going to stream on Rumble, guys. We're doing it. And it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. Guys, I'm going to stream on Rumble. Thank you. Thank you, Carrie. I am so happy. We're doing it, and I am going to be able to say the things that I can't say here. I get to be free. Free at last. Free at last. Thanks God Almighty. We are free at last. So, we are going to Rumble very, very soon here. I forgot to tell you, Samuel and Larry, I forgot to tell you guys, but it's happening. And we are moving. Hi, Clue. We are going over there and we're doing it. And you guys are coming along because you have no choice. You're part of my pride. You're not going nowhere. We got to stick together. Now, we're doing it. I reached it and we're doing it. William, Amira, have you seen what's been happening in El Salvador? Crime crackdown has been amazing. Yes, their new president is not tolerating any of the nonsense, any of the rubbish. Yes. Drop the link and move everyone in the chat there. How? Right now? I don't even know my login. I need a minute to speak with Samuel and Larry. Like, we have to plan. I can't just do it now. Guys. Yes. Yes, very much. Yes. It's not haram because in my religion completely agrees with me. Pretty much everything that I say. I am not running afoul in my religion, so it's not haram. You said Trump owes you huge because I wouldn't go if it wasn't for you. Really? Really? Oh. Well, I'm happy you do. I'm still happy you do anyway. Oh, speaking of Trump, I wanted to speak to you guys about something. So you guys know that Trump got indicted, right? Well, I mean, we knew it was coming anyway. They were looking for anything to indict him on, and I believe that they picked a jury of liberals. I mean, right. New York is very much lefty now, and so yeah. So they did indict Trump, saying that he's a pervert and that he raped some girl or something like that. I forget which one it was, but I don't know how you guys feel about that. Actually, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can come chat with me if you want to. But Jason, do it. Do it. I will gladly. And I'm excited. And I know the person who got me over 100 subscribers, and I'm very, very thankful for it. Oh, Nate says he's not on Rumble yet. You have to do it. Yes. Oh, yes. We will do it. We will do the doings, guys. So why you said why not just get the login? Because it's not that simple, Jason. Okay, maybe it's me being scared, right? Maybe it's me being scared to just change over right now because I'm scared to touch anything because I don't want to lose the live. I don't want to lose the live stream that I have going on right now. And then, that's what I'm saying. So, and not everybody has Rumble yet. That's what I'm saying. Guys, get Rumble, please.
Hey guys, we'll try to get it set up for the next live stream. Right now, we're not in a position to just go live. Rumble is a bit of a bitch to navigate. So in terms of setting up streams and stuff, and you kind of got to do it well beforehand. So, but we will definitely attempt to have that up and running by next week.
Thank you, Samuel. You guys heard it for yourselves. And that's the thing. I just don't want to switch over so quickly because I'm scared to lose. I've already started here. So we'll still be censored today, but just know that Exiled Uncut, Exiled Uncensored is coming. And I'm so happy, guys. I'm so excited because I have so many things that I just want to release. I just want to have a release, And last time I released, I got my channel deleted. Amir, what's your Rumble? It's the X Out Lioness. The X Out Lioness on Rumble. Not There's another channel on Rumble that is claiming to be me. Well, not claiming to be me, but they have my content. But they said that they were taking my content and just posting it. They didn't say that they were trying to be me at all. So there's two. So you just have to find me, the real me. I don't know how you would distinguish, but you can figure it out. Let's get ready to rumble. Hi, Jacob. Keep the pride together. I'm trying. I want us to keep it. I want to keep us together, honestly. But I have some things that I want to do, and I'm not even going to talk about it because every time I talk about it, I don't end up doing it. So I'll keep it to myself for now. Okay. So anyway, right. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. So if you guys want to join me, you guys can. But this is basically the topic that I wanted us to speak about, was the anti-discrimination. I know we're going to end up speaking about something different because we typically do that. But also, like I said, Trump getting indicted is another thing that is, I believe that this is going to increase his chances of winning the presidency. I could be wrong, but I believe that this is going to increase his chances of winning the presidency, except the fact that some people are very weary about these kind of sexual assault things. So some people may get turned off because they think that now Trump has been indicted for, whatever it was, I guess rape. They were looking for anything and anything that they can get Trump to be indicted on. They're just trying to run his name through the mud at any cost, at any way possible. So for me, I just, yeah, no. Are you still going to be on Lapeef? Yes. However, I'm on contract. I'm on contract with the Lapeef Network. Anti-discrimination, I believe that these laws should be used by white people. Now, a lot of people may not agree with that, but what I'm telling you is that if we're going to combat the system that we have going on right now, the rubbish that we have going on right now, I believe that this is one of the ways that we can combat it, is white people standing up for their rights and not feeling racist for doing so. You're not racist, white people, for standing up for your own people. You're not racist for saying we're not tolerating this bull crap anymore. You're not racist for doing that. So I just don't understand why white people don't stand up for themselves. You know what I mean? You don't say anything. You're just so passive and just so tolerant. And I know that most white people have been taught that they need to be tolerant and, but this is overboard. This is overkill. When you see people making videos calling the white woman in the house a ghost and so on and so forth, but the white woman can't turn around and say, well, if I'm a ghost, then you must be a poltergeist or something like that. You can't do the same thing because then it's so offensive and oh my gosh and all the racism. But nobody sees the racism when it's the other way around. Nobody cares. Everything is just so funny. And I don't know. I think white people should stand up for their rights. Stand up for yourselves. Use the laws that are in place for your own benefit. Use those laws for yourselves because they don't just apply to black people. There's nowhere written where it says anti-discrimination laws are only for black people. It's not. Use them. Anyway. I know I'm ranting at this point, but I have other topics that I want to speak to you all about. And the other one would be, wait, what did you say, Clue? Clue says white people could end woke in a year if they were willing to fight. That is what I'm saying, Clue. The stuff that we have going on right now, I'm not going to say all of it, but a large part of it is because white people refuse to stand up. White people. Because if white people stood up to, then we could get our country back. If whites stood up to this and said, screw you, we're not letting you guys dominate this, and this, and this anymore. We're taking our country back. I think that we would be in a better position. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but if you guys sit and think about it, Don't you think that I make sense a little bit? No? Yes or no, Carrie? Nod. Yes or no? You think so too? Okay then. That's what I'm saying. So, do you want to come speak? Okay. Hi, Carrie.
Okay. Well, this Monday is Memorial Day. I was going to ask everybody, uh, veterans, drink or pour one out for our brothers and sisters. Everybody else, light a candle or some incense or something on Monday in memory.
Well,
Honestly,
I haven't gotten there yet, and I'm glad that you fixed your microphone.
stopped using the Bluetooth.
Wonderful, wonderful. That was a great choice on your part. Great decision. Yes, we have a lot of veterans in my pride, and I want to, of course, thank the veterans. And I'm sorry. I want to also thank the veterans and show appreciation to all of you because I did talk about this, I believe it was last week or something, where they were talking about the how they were, oh, New York. I'll bring you right back, Carrie, okay? I'll bring you right back. New York kicked out veterans, homeless veterans from the hotels in order to put illegal aliens in. So they took out the homeless veterans out of this hotel to put in, I can't be racist, but illegal aliens. Let's just say that. What does it not surprise you why a lot of people are refusing to enroll in the military at this point? The American military is a joke. It's a joke. And I'm scared to see the day where we get in a position where we have to go to war under this potato in chief because we are going to fail. I don't know. I mean, I know America has an arsenal of great weapons and so on, but the morale of the people is what wins wars. The morale of the people is what wins the war. The pride, the country, the pride in your nation is what wins the wars more than your arsenal, more than your guns, your weapons, your nukes, what have you. It's the people, the pride in your country, the pride in your nation, the 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 urge to protect your people. That is what wins the wars. So I'm scared to even think about what will happen if we went to war right now. And I'm just glad that, yeah, buck fighting, buck fighting. Yeah, I'm glad to see that we're not having any problems right now. Hi, Jordan. I'm so happy that we don't have problems right now. But the veterans are extremely mistreated in this country. It's a shame. It's not. It's worse than a shame. It's an abomination almost that you would have people who risk their lives for this country who come back mangled and suffering from many things, and you just drop them for illegal immigrants, for illegal aliens. My God, border jumpers. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Let's go, Brandon. Thanks to all the veterans. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you to all the veterans and people like myself. Still actually appreciate the veterans. Like I know a lot of people, they just use it for a day off. They're just like, oh, it's a day off. Usually I will go to, we have stations here. I'll go to the stations. Me and my husband will go to the army bases. They have some bases here. We go to the army bases. We do things. We don't just, yeah. But anyway, it is a travesty. There you go. There's the word I was looking for, travesty. William says, sad when I see homeless vets all over my city and see we are sending over another $100 billion to the Ukraine. Thanks to all the vets. We're sending this money over to Ukraine, but did you guys see that recently somebody made a video out of the Ukraine at Clubs, discotheques were open. There were women in mini skirts and showing their cleavage and belly buttons and everything, and men drinking, bottles flying, whiskey, vodka, whatever. But this is a country in war. And this is a country that we're sending billions of dollars, millions of dollars, and everything to. Did you guys know that Zelensky is actually selling the weapons that we are selling him, that we are giving them? Sorry, not selling him, that we are giving him. Zelensky is selling the weapons. So if this country was so desperate in a war-torn country, you wouldn't see this. You wouldn't see people in the discotheques partying it up, because you'd be in a time of war. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe wartime isn't that permanent of a situation. No, maybe it's like, oh, we're in war when the sun is out, but when the sun goes down, discotheque time. Bring the vodka, Olga. But anyway, this video came out showing people in Ukraine partying it up at a discotheque, drinking, women in mini skirts and crop tops and what have you. But this is a war-torn nation that we need to all feel sorry for. This is why I said I don't stand with Ukraine. I don't. And for whoever wants to know, anybody who wants to know, I do stand with Russia. I stand with Russia more than Ukraine, that's for sure. But I do stand with Russia. The reason why I stand with Russia is because Russia is run by a real man who wants to do the best for his country. He saw a situation, which is NATO. And NATO, I want to have this on Rumble because there's so many things I want to say about this. But I see NATO, this is the PG version of this, I see NATO as just another form of the New World Order. It is another way of pushing an ideology on the rest of the world. Putin saw NATO surrounding all of his borders and said, hell no. And he did something about it. Something that a lot of people refuse to do now. A lot of people are so pussified that a lot of people, modern people, refuse to do anything about situations because we're so scared of how we're going to look, what people are going to say. Oh my gosh, we need to be kind. We need to all be nice. No, sometimes we need to be violent. Hi, Will. How are you, Will? Can you give me a wave? Do you hear me? I'm speaking to you, Will. Well, I see your video, but then, okay. I don't know what's going on with him. Josh says, Amira, you're a true American, and I love that about you. I appreciate that. I love this country, and I'm sure the majority of you all here with me do too. But I mean, at this rate, America, she's the Titanic. She's going down. As great and as wonderful as she is, she's going down. But we don't even have a band playing. At least the Titanic had the band playing on the way down. We don't even have that. We have drag queens dancing on our way down through the Atlantic. Is that you, Will? No, that's not the Will that you guys are thinking about. That was a different Will. This is a black Will. Will, there he is. Will says my mic is acting up. I couldn't hear. Really? No, I was speaking to you and I asked you to wave, but you didn't even wave. So that means maybe you couldn't hear me? Huh. Okay. The Russians are in the right. And isn't that crazy? Isn't that a crazy thing to say? That I almost wish Putin was our leader. Because I see Putin as a real leader. See, us having this conversation, this is what got me deleted on my main channel, the Exiled Lioness. My channel got suspended because I said this. So these are the things I want to speak about on Rumble when we start, okay? Because I have a lot of views on it, and I think that a lot of you guys see the same things that I see. So NATO is the New World Order. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not the only one who sees this, right? This is what I was saying. Hi, Mortician Stone. Hi. That is what I'm saying, guys. This is what I saw. And I see it because I see the countries that are in NATO. And then I also see the commonality, if that's the word, the common theme here. And I'm like, this is nothing but the New World Order in effect. And Russia standing up to that is a brave move, and I stand with it. I stand with them more than Ukraine, because Ukraine, before everybody started feeling like, oh, poor Ukraine, Russia's so big and Ukraine's so small. Before people started feeling bad for Ukraine, they forgot how corrupt, how degenerate Ukraine is. And racism runs rampant in Ukraine too. Hi, Will. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Able to come back on, so I hear you now.
Hi there. Hi.
Hey,
How's it going?
good, good. There's a lot of streams
Good.
today, so I was watching a lot of streams. On that
Oh,
conversation,
yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
late night.
A lot of people stream on Saturdays. So let me ask you, what do you feel about this anti-discrimination laws that I was speaking about? Do you believe that white people should take advantage of the anti-discrimination laws for themselves?
Yeah, the Constitution applies to everybody, so if there's anti-discrimination laws on the books, it should not just go one way. It should go to everybody. So I mean, if I was white, I would be sue everybody. So I think they should if they definitely are in that situation where they've been discriminated. And I don't like the whole DEI thing because it just exists in any other country.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Queen Lala, guys. I have been looking for her myself. I haven't even seen her on Lapeef. And I hate when you guys disappear like this. I hate when you guys disappear like this.
Queen Lala has been very, very, very busy with school and family. That's why she hasn't been online much.
Thank you, Samuel, because I didn't know. You guys didn't tell me anything. So when I don't know, that's why I told you guys about the buddy system. Now I know this sounds weird for a lot of people because, most YouTubers don't do this, but I said this before about the buddy system where each one of you guys in the Pride, you find another Pride member and you just keep in contact with them and just with that person. That's it. Just you and that person. That's it. And I said that for a reason because people disappear and it's scary because, like I said, we've had a few people disappear and I don't want to get into it, but I want you guys to do that. And I know a lot of people are not interested in doing that because a lot of people are very private. I get it. But like I said, you're only sharing yourself with one person and all you have to do is share an email. That's it. Like, make a fake email and share. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. If you guys don't do it, then I don't know. We're just going to be like this. We're just going to be like, oh, well, the person disappeared. Oh, well. If you disappear one day, I'll never know, Will. Will, you'll be gone, and we'll just keep on doing our thing without you. Never knowing. But whatever. So you said you would be suing like crazy. You would get sue happy if you were white, and you would take advantage of the anti-discrimination laws. Now, my example that I gave to you was that in schools, they were also saying that there's a day without white people where no white staff or students are allowed to show up. And if you do show up, you'll be labeled racist. There's also, like I said,
Actually, there was
in
a
Hollywood. Go
a
ahead.
thing like that in my school where they try to do a color people in this space, and me and some other people, we wrote a letter to the faculty, and then they removed it. In my school in Washington, it was in
Wait,
Washington too.
wait. What the hell?
I
Don't
won't say
curse,
the
Amira.
school
Wait,
because
no, wait, Will. Wait, Will, hear me. Can you hear me, Will? I'm asking you to stay quiet for 1 second because I'm going to ask you a question. What does colored people mean?
just basically anybody's not white. And so it was during certain hours white people couldn't be in that space. So I'm like, and so I wrote a very, very harsh letter to the university president. And yeah,
Thank you, Will. I appreciate that. Is there anything else you wanted to say before I go?
That's it. Thanks for the
All
time.
right, thank you. You can hang out if you want. I still have I have Carrie in the back, and I have you. So when I finish with the pride, I'll probably bring you guys back up. Okay, if you want to stay, you don't have to, but if you want to.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Bye. The other thing was another clip that I saw where there's mixed people, mixed people who are half white, half black. There was a show, and the show was speaking about mixed people, and the mixed lady, she was speaking about, I forget what it was, but anyway, the point of the story is that the man who was talking to this mixed lady, he was speaking to her, and he said, yeah, but you're black, so what does it matter? The woman said to him, I'm white. And then he said, no, you're black. Truthfully, the woman looked white. So this is another thing where they have that one drop rule. Like, if you're one drop of African American, then you have to claim that you're African American. It doesn't work the other way around. Isn't that a form of discrimination in itself? Am I wrong? Because of the parent. The white parent that birthed this child just completely disregards them and claims the other race. Completely disregards their ancestry, all because they want to claim black. But the truth is, white people would never accept this mixed person as fully white. So why do black people accept a mixed person as black? Why do they accept them as fully black? Is this a part of this whole black and brown people where black people want to accept everybody into their group? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. I'm curious. I ask myself these questions, GB says black and white are a social construct. Yes, I believe the terms black and white are, because nobody's skin is really black and nobody's skin is actually white. But the race does exist, of course. What is it called? Caucasian and Negroid. Isn't that the proper scientific term for black and white? Caucasian and Negroid? Am I right, Carrie? It's not Caucasian and Negroid?
Oh shit. I don't think Negroid is the proper term anymore. Caucasian is.
That is the proper term.
I can't fight you on this one.
Let's get Carrie up out of here. Thank you, Carrie. Then I believe, and you guys said, oh, okay, thank you. Caucasoid. It sounds like, I'm sorry, but that sounds like, it sounds like a species of dinosaur that exists. Well, here we have the Trinomorphosis, and then we have the T-Rexes, and then over here we have the Caucasoid. Why? Why do we call him the Caucasoid? Well, because him and the Cockadoodle-Loo, him and the Cockadoodle-Loo used to be together, and they kind of formed this whole thing where they put this zoid into it. So it's like a cockadoo, but with a zoid feature in it, which means that the cockadoo is actually kind of robotic in a way, and that's what makes the Caucasoid. So here we are, class, the Caucasoid. That sounds so weird. Caucasoid, cockadoodle-doo, Caucasianozoid, Caucasianoid. You guys are just making up things. I don't believe any of you guys. No, it's called Caucasian and Negroid. That is the proper terms. I'm not gonna argue with you guys. No, it's Caucasian.
Don't forget the Mongoloid.
That's offensive. Isn't it? Isn't that offensive?
If you're talking strictly about phenotypes like Caucasoid, Negroid, no, there's a third one, Mongoloid.
So what's the fourth one?
Those are the
Because
only
there's
three
four.
that were included in those. Because
there's four races.
At the time that these became popular in usage in naturalism and whatnot, no, they were only recognized as three.
So there's only 3 races that they
Yeah,
say?
like Native Americans, for example, were considered Mongoloid.
Well,
Because
yeah,
they're
they're
ancestors.
Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Asian. But what would you consider like native like Aztecs? What would they be? Because
Same
these
deal.
are like pure Indian.
Mhm.
What do you
Their
mean same
ancestors
deal?
came. Their ancestors came over the Bering Strait, same as everybody else's.
So that would make them Asian?
Yes.
So Latinos are Asians.
Yes.
So
Unless
what
you're a
am I?
Mormon and then they think they're Jewish.
What am I then?
Caucasian. Caucasoid.
So you're telling me I'm a part of this trinoceros?
According to the terms that you're using, the studies that those come from, yes, there are only 3. So everybody belongs to one of those 3.
Will says Latinos are not Asian. What would they be then, Will? Would they be European? Because the European, well, I'm talking about Aztecs, because Aztecs were different than the Latinos that we have
Well,
today.
if you talk about, look at the stories that the Aztecs told about their own ancestry. Like they came down from somewhere called Aztlan, which was in an undisclosed location far to the north. And they wandered south until they found the cactus with the eagle and the snake on the lake, which is where they decided to build Tenochtitlan, which became their capital, and then Mexico City later was built on top of that.
That's not the point. That's not the point. Wait. So wait. So
It's believed that Aztlan was somewhere either in northern Canada or Alaska, or possibly even on the Russian side of the Bering Strait.
Okay.
But nobody knows because there's nothing up there. So,
All right. Okay, deal. All right. Well then, you guys have this argument. This is cockazoid, cockadoodaloo, whatever. What was the point? How did we get here? We were speaking about something. I know we were speaking about something, and now we were talking about something, weren't we? Somebody say what it was, because now we got into that topic, and now I completely forgot the actual topic that we were speaking about. It's not Persian, though. I specifically asked her about that. Who's not Persian? Wait. You said Se is a specific group within Middle Eastern. She said that before, I forgot. They. Are you saying they? What are you saying? What were you saying? Carrie! What were you saying?
Somebody asked if you were Persian. I said no. Somebody else said you were Middle Eastern, and I said a specific group within Middle Eastern, but I forgot what, because you did say like 2 or 2.5 years ago or something like that. And that I had asked you if you were Persian at one point, and you specifically said no. Very definitive no.
I have no Persian blood that I know of. Yeah. Okay then. All right.
Also,
Thank you.
I've been busy, biting people on the chat, so I don't realize I brought on stage.
Yeah, I saw that because you were still commenting in the chat while I had you right here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
First, and then bring me out.
Okay. Okay.
Harry, come. Right?
Oh my God. See, this is the reason why. And then I'm going to be called crazy slave lady because they're going to say I treat my pride like slaves.
Look at this face. All right. Put me backstage. Put me back in.
I trust me. I wanted to put you back the whole time. Go away. But anyway.
Bad dog.
No. You had a Biden moment of your stop. It's so true though. It did, because I was like, where am I? What does Biden say? What is the thing that he says? He's like, this isn't the mall. Jericho Green says that all the time. Hey, this isn't the mall. Where's my ice cream you promised? Oh no. You're a good slaver. I don't say that on my channel because people take that very seriously. There have been forums made about me because of that. Stop it. Stop it, guys. You guys don't know the type of things that people say about me that's not on this channel. This channel, this is guys, the group that we have right now is so small, and I'm so happy about it. But we are a small group, and that is good, because the things that get said about me all the time. Okay, that's why I said I'm so happy to not have my big channel sometimes right now, because I'm like, I don't want that anymore. I just want to speak to the people. I want to be with you guys. I don't want to be like, no, I don't want 40,000 subs anymore. I don't want it. But anyway, you said Russians are Asian too, and Caucasian. Well, I would be considered Asian in a way, and also Caucasian in a way. And I don't know. So I would say a mix between Caucasian, Asian, and uh, yeah, exactly. Where am I? Biden has so many, exactly. Hey, Jack. Jack. Yeah, guys. Okay. You said Dex says, because I've met some who claim to be Persian, and they are similar areas. They're in similar areas. No, but I'm not. I'm not. I do have some Kurdish ancestry, Kurdish, but I'm not Persian. Um, I guess Kurdish is kind of close, but I don't think it's exactly that. I don't think so, but I don't know. Exactly, Eurasian. There you go, Eurasian. I think Eurasians are some of the prettiest people out there. Eurasians, Middle Easterners, uh, but Azerbaijan would be considered Eurasian, that Eurasian area, right? Azerbaijan has some beautiful people, especially the women. Azerbaijani women are so hot. And in that whole like Eurasian area, Armenians are pretty. They're pretty. Middle Easterners, we're known to be pretty, but it's just because of the type of genetics that we have. But yeah, but I love Azerbaijani girls, and yeah, I'm not really into the blonde hair, blue eye look, but I do like brown hair and olive skin, and soft, fine features, like for women, small faces, and I don't know, whatever. I know I'm getting too into it. Yeah. What were you guys talking about? You a little higher on the longitude, but yeah, I am. And she's from Saudi and Iran, so yeah, who are you talking about? GB says the entire race thing is garbage science. People can be mix and blend and adapt to location. The idea of multiple race of humans is an evolutionary one. It's junk science. Well, I mean, I would agree with that if there weren't any differences in the biology of us. But there are differences, right? They're not just phenotypes, but there are actual differences in our bone structures, and I think even brain size, wasn't it? Or our head sizes and everything. There's differences in us. So yes, I would say that it's just all fake, the whole race talk. But at the same time, what would explain those differences? Because those differences are common in certain races. Does that make sense? So there must be racial differences between us, even though we are one race of human. They're different. Yeah. Jason, hey, I was enslaved to the US government for 6 years, and Amira has nothing on them. I'm not a slaver, guys. Stop saying that. You guys are going to get me. Listen, because of my ancestry, you cannot say that to me, okay? You can't call a random Arab girl a slave catcher or a slave owner. It's not good.
She beats us when you guys aren't looking.
Damn it, Samuel. Get out of here, Samuel. It's, oh my God. Okay, I'm not doing this with you guys. I'm not doing this with you guys. The Clue Channel says, race is what keeps the Democratic Party alive. That's why you can't identify as non-racial. Yeah, I can see that. I really can. I can see that. They put so much emphasis on race, but they say they are the least racist people out of the groups, right? They're the least racist, but their whole ideology is based on race and trying to protect Les Negroid. Oh, have you guys heard of a book? Here, I want to, that's a weird question. Have you heard of a book? Yes, I'm sure you guys have heard of what a book is, but let me Google it. This book is called Please Stop Helping Us. And Google refuses to actually, it's not even on the bar, you know, like on the search bar, when you start typing, it fills the rest of it in. Google does. This book, they refuse to finish filling it in because they don't want to promote this book, I guess. But this book is by Jason L. Riley, and it's called Please Stop Helping Us. This, here, I want to see if I can, hold on. So it was talking about how liberals make it harder for blacks to succeed and how black people had more success before affirmative action and all of these things that have been pushed by the left as ways of helping them. This is interesting to me, and I know you guys may wonder why I'm interested in this. It's interesting to me because I've never seen this in other countries where you have a group of people so hell-bent on trying to control this minority. It's like the white liberal is so focused, so hyper-focused on looking like a savior of sort that they'll do anything just to make sure they look like they're above everyone, or not even above everyone, that they're some kind of a savior, like they are needed. They're so needed and valuable because, you know what I mean? I just, the white liberal is very fascinating. It's a very fascinating case study, and yeah, but the book is called Please Stop Helping Us. You guys should check it out. There's another book that I have for you guys, but this one is from Dinesh D'Souza. Do you guys like Dinesh D'Souza? Do you guys like him? Here, I'm gonna put it in the chat. So the people that I really know are on this channel. I know we have truckers. We have a fair amount of truckers on this channel. We have veterans. I know we have a fair amount of veterans. We have blue collar workers, a lot of blue collar workers on my channel. And we have, who else do we have? I'm trying to remember. I don't know how many educators we have. I know we used to have a few teachers, but I haven't, but that was on the bigger channel. I don't know about this one. Clue is a trucker. See, and trucking is the bloodline, okay, of our country. Trucking is the bloodline. So without the truckers, we would not be able to have any of the luxuries that we have. GB says DNA over time loses information. The variation we see is based on our DNA losing information while adapting to our environment. We don't create new information in the human genome. So let me ask you, GB, if you are saying this, do you believe that there is no such thing as race? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that the reason why we look different is just because some people lived on this area of the world and some people lived on that area of the world, so they changed? Because I don't know if that would explain all the differences. Like, yes, it could explain skin tone differences and possibly height differences, possibly. But it wouldn't explain other differences to me. I don't know, because they say, Black people tend to say that humanity started in Africa, right? Started somewhere in Africa. This is why Black people think that they were the first humans, because they think Africa is all Black. So this is why Black people tend to think that they're the first humans and everything, because this has been stated, or humanity started in Africa. Africa is not all black. Northern Africa is not black. And right now, Southern Africa isn't all black, but I think it could have been more black in the past. Why would we be so different? If humanity all started in Africa, wouldn't the Africans of today all look the same? Because they're in the same environment? If there is no such thing as race, wouldn't they all look the same? Because from what I see, they don't. Because Africa, pretty much from the northern part of Africa to the southern part of Africa, is pretty much the same environment. There's not that much difference. So it's, you have the desert, you have this the Sahara, and then you have, down, and, it's pretty much the same. So wouldn't everyone look the same if it were true that we only change because of our environment? Northern Africa, you see people with straight hair, lighter skin, finer features. The middle part of Africa, we see people with coarser hair, darker skin, broader features. Why? Because, like I said, Africa is not that much of a change. It's not that much of a change from north to south. So what are the differences if race doesn't exist? No. I've been having such a good stream. With that. No. Hi, Will.
Hello. I almost didn't want to get on the stream, but then you mentioned something about race. You mentioned something about like the first people. And, a long time ago, I did think like either Middle Eastern or Black people were the first on Earth. But then I really got to thinking about it. It may not be, because, or at least maybe we can deduce Black. And one of the reasons why I say this, because here's the thing. You want to know why I think it may not be the Black person that is the first person on Earth?
I do.
You ever tried taking a rib from a Black man?
Let's get Will up out of here. See, I just knew it was going to end up turning into something. I knew. Will, get it together, Will. Get it together, Will. See, you know what the problem is? Will, he'll get you sucked into the conversation because he'll make it seem like this isn't going to be, he's going to be serious about something. And then you start listening to him and you're like, yeah, oh, okay. And then he does this. See, Will, I want your honest view on it. Why don't you be honest?
What? Okay, honest. Really, I don't know. But I know you get pushback when I say you're Asian, or at least West Asian. The reason why I say this is because in the Old Testament, there's a map before it was written as a book. It shows Middle East as Asia, of which, of course, Shem was one of the sons of Abraham. That was his territory, from what I understand. So that's why I see, you can deny it, but you do have some Asian in you.
Well, me and you, we're not the same people, Will.
No, I mean East Asian. There's an East Asian, there's a West Asian, there's a Southeast Asian.
It's a big continent with a lot of different people who live on it.
I know.
Right.
I just had to be.
Part of the Middle East is in Europe. Part of it's in North Africa. A fair amount of it is in West Asia. The Middle East is a region. It's not continental.
Morocco and Egypt is definitely in Africa, so that's an African continent. But Lebanon, Iran, Iraq, and all that's considered like West
Syria.
Syria.
Cyprus is straight up Mediterranean.
Yeah, you could also say the same about Turkey as well,
Yes,
because some part of it is in Europe and some part of it is in Asia.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But Turkey's also right next to Greece, which is definitely Europe.
Right. Yes. Again. Yeah.
But Turkish are still considered Middle Eastern. They're still considered Middle Eastern.
But Middle Eastern is not a continent. Middle East is not a continent. Just like China's the Far East.
No, I know what you're saying. We weren't saying that it's a continent, but I was just saying that, Turkey is still considered Middle East, and so is Lebanon, but Lebanon is more Mediterranean. Lebanon is more Mediterranean, just like
but it's still part of.
Jordan, all this whole area is considered Mediterranean. Really, I would consider myself Mediterranean Asian, I guess. I did a DNA test, and the DNA test did actually come back that I am Asian, part Asian. I didn't know that. Samuel had mentioned that some Genghis Khan guy was doing the goat cheese with everybody. That's how most of us end up with his ancestry. So
Almost everyone on Earth at some point.
His descendants. Well, his descendants sacked Babylon. So, or not Babylon.
Genghis Khan
Babylon
himself, in a time of a much lower population, murdered everybody he came across except for the ones that he had his way with, and he killed some of them too.
I got smoke with you, Will. I'm the only one that should have the Will name on this panel.
That's my
they
legal
asked
name.
me if it was you.
I could do that. We look alike.
Quit it.
I almost didn't get on the stream, but then I something just started, like a wheel just started to turn in my head and be like, okay, now I got something to say on it. Like, yeah, if I don't have anything to say, I'm not going to get on the stream. But I was like, I had to really, really think. And I was like,
but no, Will, that's what my streams tend to do, is tend to make people think about stuff. That's what I want you to do. That's what this whole stream, that's why I do it every Saturday. I just want us to think about stuff. That's the whole point of the stream, is to think. But
right.
Yeah. So I'm glad I got some kind of wheels turning in your head, Will.
Yeah.
But
well,
I mean,
the best I can come up with is the rib joke.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, go ahead, Will, number 2.
Oh yeah, growing up, I mean, I read the Bible and like the story of like Babel and when they're building that tower, and then how God didn't want them to continue building it, so He kind of gave them all different languages, and then that's when people really began to spread out on the earth. So that's why I always believe like race is not really a thing. It's just everybody just adjusts to the climate that they are in. So I believe like if they didn't build a tower, then we'd all be one race, still probably together, or maybe we'd have explored on our own time. But yeah, I mean, the people who spread out goes to the north, they probably got lighter, or goes to the south, probably got darker, or wherever you were at the time.
That's not how that worked. But I want to tell you something. The thing that I was going to point out to you guys is that a person who is mixed, half white, half black, looks Latin. A lot of them look Latino, Mediterranean, Arab. So a person who is half white, half black, if you put them in the Middle East, there would be no difference. They wouldn't know the difference. So if race is so set in stone, if race is real, then how can you distinguish if you put somebody in the Middle East and you never tell them that they're half white and half black. You tell them that they're Middle Eastern all their life. You tell them, or that they're Latino all their life, whatever. And the truth is they're actually half white, half black. What would be the difference at that point? Because really, you've been ingrained to learn that culture, whether it be Middle Eastern or Latino culture. So, and even though you're half white and half black, you're not technically Middle Eastern, or you're not technically Latino, but you look like them. So at that point, what is the difference?
But that's like from you already knowing what half white, half black is. If that child grows up and they're thinking that they're Middle Eastern, then they're gonna be Middle Eastern if nobody ever tells them. Like, say Africa was China,
they're gonna be
and
Middle
China was
Eastern.
Africa. I would consider myself Chinese if I never knew, like, oh, Chinese people are different, So it's basically what the world has already said. Okay, these people are these people. So I believe it's like somebody grew up, like, say if you grew up in France and you look at French people.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, Will, but that's
right.
a different point. That's a different point. But Mayo says culture is the difference, and that's the thing. And so I believe culture is more of a important thing than race, right? It could be more like how you're raised, how you act, your language you speak, the food that you eat. This is what makes you what you are, not more than your phenotype, more than how you look.
And again, like race is also broken down subdivision into ethnicities. So, like, I don't know if we're really to go by the studies, which I don't know, if today's studies are accurate, considering it's a lot of it's mixed with politics now. It's 3 races, from what I understand. It's 3 races, and then it's broken down into different ethnicities, and then of course it's broken down into countries. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Check the private chat, Amir.
Okay. Hi, GB.
Hi, how you doing? How you all doing? I'm super tired.
Hi.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you all. Good to see you, Will.
It's a late
Doing
night.
well.
Late night,
Nice to see
GB.
you, GB.
Yeah. The concept of race came from evolutionary theory, mostly, especially Darwin, but before him as well too. But if you actually look, especially current information about DNA and how DNA works, there's never been a new introduction of a new DNA sequence that adds something to the already established human genome. With all the attempts and trial, in fact, most mutations are not beneficial; they're quite harmful and deadly. You put that along with the idea of what is the second law of thermodynamic? The fact that everything is winding down, everything going to a state of energy, down to breaking down to a state of
Entropy.
that exactly that. Sorry, I just came from the gym. I'm still tired. I apologize.
Oh,
So basically,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
you put those things. Sorry, you put those things together, and you realize the human DNA is actually breaking apart. And as it breaks apart, you get fragmentation. For example, if you let's say, I'll give an idea. Let's say you have a set of bugs who are resistant to a certain poison, right? You spray all this group of colony of bugs of that certain poison. Whichever one is immune to it survives. So the DNA for the other one die out, so to speak.
Right.
And those ones that survive, they're technically adapted to the poison, but they adapted because they lost certain information that make them susceptible to that poison. This is kind of how adapting to the environment works. Like, for example, I'm black. I have a big nose, so I can breathe air easier. My hair holds water for dry desert area. It's a lot of adaptation to my environment, and that makes me susceptible to cold area. So if I go to a cold location, the information to keep me well there is not in my system. I'll have to probably best to mix with somebody who's like an Inuit, and then that child will have more the feature to adapt to that location.
I see.
Do you understand a little bit? It's all genetic, it's all information.
I do, but my question is things like hair. I don't think that hair changes from being in a hot environment to a cool environment. This is why I say race does exist.
No, I'm saying your hair actually is like my hair is adapted to the whole water, because the location where I'm supposed to be is not a cold location, it's a hot location where water is very precious. I'm designed also sweat faster, so I can cool my body faster. Now, you take somebody who's who their genetics more in a cold location, right?
Right.
If they came to a hot environment, they will pretty much overheat and pretty much die faster. Now, you take me and putting me in their cold location, and I will pretty much freeze faster because I sweat, and it's a negative for a cold location. But this is all within the genetic. These are all within the genetic of a human being in the first place. There's nothing new. Like, it's just we're losing. There's certain genetics I've lost from adapting to my location, my ancestors, that somebody else ancestors who went up north still kept. But they lost certain genetic that make them very efficient in a hot location. That's how adaptation kind of works. You're really kind of losing information. It's kind of weird. You don't really gain it.
It almost sounds like eugenics. It almost sounds like eugenics. And the thing is, like, now in 2023, I don't think that applies anymore. Like, anybody can live anywhere and be fine. But at the time, before we've been able to adapt to the elements, that may have been an issue. So with that part, I do agree.
I think with the advances of certain things like inoculations, yes, people can live anywhere and be fine. But there are still certain things, certain quirks of development in certain areas. Like, and I don't know, don't come at me. I don't know how true this is, but I have heard tell that like, say, people from certain parts of, like, say, West Africa, for example, have a harder time with things that blacks who came up in America have adapted to, like, because I think there's something like there's a salt deficiency in the diets of a lot of sub-Saharan Africans, whereas blacks who came up in North America for several hundred years have adapted to a more salt-rich environment. because it's more plentiful here.
Right. Right.
But there's certain diseases that have to do with the pancreas and salt and all that stuff. Like, again, I don't know all the specifics about this. It's just something I heard, and I don't know if there's any truth to it, but I have heard that because there's a lack of that kind of nutrient in Africa, they are more prone to certain kinds of liver disorders than, say, blacks from North America who've been in North America for several generations.
Boa, welcome, Boa.
You can't
Hello,
open the
how
box
y'all
if
doing?
Pandora friend zoned you.
Who?
No discussion though. I do believe, I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but that those from Africa are more prone to certain diseases. Sickle cell anemia must be one of them, just for a fact. This I do know, I'm certain of. Yes, I'm adapted Northern European and native. I guess we're going. Adapted to the cold weather, as it would be, and do not do well in hot weather. Definitely need sunscreen in the hot sun. As well from Africa, dark skin. Need vitamin D supplements if you move to Europe. The sun's much weaker. In your darker skin, you're going to absorb less of it.
Yeah, being darker gives you
Adaptation.
disadvantages for colder area with less sunlight. Yeah, it's really information being lost. One of the things that's really interesting, in my opinion, if you know purebred, like especially look at the monarchs, for example, in England, they tend to inbreed a lot, which is just not smart. Develop sickness because of it. But however, what we consider mutt or mixed breed tend to be more stronger. These
Keela,
creatures
go
like
to
the
the naughty
mule,
corner. Go
Is
to the
that why
naughty
they
corner,
got messed
Keela.
up looking teeth?
well, they weren't smart. They thought they could just be inbreed, and it's kind of just messed. I don't know who told them that, but anyways, mix animals. For example, there's a creature called a liger. Look it up sometime. It's a lion, some male
Mixed with a
lion and
tiger.
a female. It's massive, big, it's powerful. Now it is basically sterile, but it's the same concept with a mule. But it doesn't change to something new. It just all the genetics become more into one being. It's more powerful.
But that's
It's more
different.
stronger. It's more faster.
But that's different, GB, because these are two different species. Now we are not different species. We're still the same species. We just have different races, right?
GB, you just like
Species.
said something that just like really sparked a light bulb in my head. So is this the reason why the word yuck has the letters UK in it?
Oh my God! Here we go. Don't
Another
listen to him,
discussion.
GB. GB, don't.
Sorry,
don't
I'm a little
do
bit
that.
tired. I don't get that. I'm
Actually,
sorry. I'm really
plus
tired. I
the
just
fact-
literally came like 5 minutes away from the gym and had a
Don't-
shower, came here and just got into the stream.
GB,
That's
don't
all
worry
right.
about it. Ignore it. It's fine.
Go to a different species, possibly.
What I'm saying is,
Neanderthal
I
or
haven't done nothing
Neanderthal.
yet, guys.
what I'm
We
saying
have
that
Neanderthal DNA in our blood.
sorry.
I've been one of them around about 10,000 years.
What I'm saying, the theory, especially according to the Bible, there's one perfect man who's adapted to all locations, and from there he has children. The children move in different location, and as they move to location, they adapt to that location. But the genetics were from one perfect man. So when you mix people, you tend to get something that's good, that leans more back to that perfect person. That's how it tend to work. Purebreds tend to be the weakest. Mixing tend to actually make them stronger.
Well,
In fact, all of us are technically mixed. If you look in your DNA, you're mixed. All of us, none of us purebred of anything anymore.
yeah,
Your
I
DNA
know.
will show it.
Yes.
My dad is
I've
white.
got Native
so,
American.
yeah.
I've got Eastern Western European, among other things. I've talked to some of my ancestors that way.
Keela.
I pass for white, but
I have a question for GB. I'd like to hear the answer.
Who's that?
The infamous, that one, only.
Hey, what's up?
The Illis Hayes, who has a pole named after him in the strip club.
I mean,
please don't.
Stop telling all my secrets, man. You're gonna get me
I'm
in trouble.
eating. I'm
GB,
eating.
GB.
I hope they
Well,
put that poll down.
I have, several, darker pigmented individuals in my life who are stuck on this, slave mentality syndrome that's going on. And one thing that they still can't get through their thick heads, and they're like 10 older, they're 10 years older than me. There should be no excuse. They should already be freed from this. But they're not. Every time they tell me they're black, I say, ask Google where the country black is. They won't even do it.
There is none.
Again,
Yeah.
People aren't
Yeah.
named by their country, Keela. The
black
race
is
is not by the country.
translated.
Ma'am. Why do you think it's such a battle? Why do you think it's such a battle?
Keela, is there a country called Caucasian?
No, there's a region.
Yes. Back in history. Yes. Back in history.
Romania.
Not a
Yes.
country called it.
Well, be honest with you,
Caucasus region.
you're the one to ask the question. Sorry.
No, there was like right after Jesus' time. There was
Did you have
right after the Romans.
In the official document, you would be
Palestine.
what race do they have you listed as?
You talking to me as myself?
Yes. In your official document.
In my official document, I am white, black, and Alaskan Native.
So that's what they have your official like.
White
'cause
mix.
there's three.
Yeah.
There's three.
But
There's
yeah.
three races, and it's broken down into ethnicities.
No, I understand. I understand the Willie Lynch matter of the fact. You know what I mean? I understand. Because it's much more devastating than it is just lines drawing. It's lines drawn to put boundaries in between people to make people dislike other people when we all should be working together in unison.
No.
That's a social
Something
construct.
in the
Agree with
new
Cohen,
world
that's-
order wants
No.
for themselves.
No, that is not what it is, Keela.
No.
Keela, let's say Keela about it.
No.
That's a
I
social-
I don't know
do
what's
agree
wrong
with
with
them.
Keela today.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you ever go look at the Charles Darwin book and the original cover, it says the natural selection and the preservation of favored races. The concept of race really came from the evolutional theory, the multiple race of human beings. There's no such thing as black people, white people. Like, you're not black, I'm not black, you're not white. I mean, take a look at something that's actually black, like my phone here, right? This is actually black. My skin color is not the same as that. And it's a multitude of shades of hue brown. It's a multitude of shade of pink. And it blends
looking
into
at all
some
of us
middle
right here.
tone. It's a concept. It's truly is one of those concepts to divide. It's just humans in different stage of adaptation. And if you
Yeah.
have children with somebody else of a different stage, the child become mixed with various adaptation form. That's how it works. It's all genetics. It's just human
And
genetics playing around.
biology, y'all.
LGBT.
I encourage y'all to learn biology,
races
probability,
are
and variance.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing to study.
To add to
One at a
GB
time.
To add to GB's point, most of the dark races, their progenitors spent a lot of time in the sun, hence why their color is like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we all breed red, don't we?
Well, some people bleed green because some people are green skins over here.
Oh, I mean, trust me, this world is ran by reptiles, Amira. You should know that. You should know this world is ran by reptiles. Of course they bleed green.
Clue, it's
Hey,
been a
hey.
minute.
Isn't that why we got the lizard watchers out here?
Yeah.
True that.
Wow.
Aren't chameleons
Yeah,
also green skinned as
listen,
well? You gotta watch out for them.
Chameleons are green
Obviously.
too.
Obviously,
He's
Will.
right.
Good catch, Will. Good catch,
Washington
man.
lizard people.
Figueroa.
I want to say something. I want to say something,
AOC
guys.
is
I
the
want to say no. I want to say thank you, guys. This just seems like a big. I don't know how this happened today, but I have all my people here right now. Clue is here. Keela is here. Maverick is here. Everybody is here. Like, I'm so happy. And Clue, how are you?
Doing good. DJ Clue. Doing good. Yo.
Long time no see, buddy.
Wait,
Like
hold
an
on a
hour.
second. Hold on. The Clue channel.
You're happy.
I thought that was
You're
the
happy.
Venezuelan chick.
What? No, that's Lou Castley.
Oh, Lou.
Oh, Lou.
Cassidy.
Oh, man.
Oh, Lou. Okay. That's
You know,
fine.
it's funny. Is
Yeah,
both
she looks a
Lou
lot better
and
than I
Jay
do.
Clue were on my panel earlier today.
They were.
Yeah.
Y'all threw me for a loop.
Wait,
on
Lou
that
was
one.
there
Thought y'all-
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Mhm.
was cammed up to everything.
Starting trouble.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Convinced,
Oh my
convinced
God.
my
I have
buddy
to show
Ryan to start an
send me that
OnlyFans.
lovely picture of Ryan.
It was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
I wasn't there. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna watch the
You were
replay
not
of that.
there for
Hey,
the
hey,
50th
guys.
celebration.
Hey guys. So
50th
I want to go back to the topic real quick.
ahead.
The gender or not gender, the discrimination, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That is going into effect for the demoralized people who can't afford to speak out, can't afford to stand, on their own 2 feet. And just like I've been seeing a lot of white single mothers getting kicked out of these, new liberal liberated areas, out of these hotels, crying about like, oh, well, I got kicked out of here and I can't find anywhere else to go.
Mm.
So imagine now they're taking away those kids because the state can take away your kids if you're homeless. So they're taking away those kids, getting put into some liberal shithole adoption agency, while we have, the immigrants who are here invading the country illegally, getting put up on full everything, right? Full everything.
Mhm.
And they're pushing a bill that you have to work 80 hours on EBT now.
What the?
Now,
You just
really
reminded
think
me of something.
Negotiation.
Really think about that discrimination act now, because those people that are coming in here, they have to work. So when they go in to get jobs, if you're an English speaking employee and your environment doesn't need more Spanish speaking people there because there's no demand for them, you cannot tell them no, because your job will be on the line if they decide to go cry to their Democrat underlords.
Let me get Will in this. Will, what do you have to say about that?
Well, before all that part, I was going to say, you reminded me of someone. You said these white single mothers. As a matter of fact, I knew a Caucasian woman named Pandora, and what happened was when someone opened her box, she got cursed with single motherhood.
Dude.
Okay, let's get Will up out of here. See, I try.
Hey, he
I
took
try
the cake
my
on that
best.
one.
No,
He took the
listen,
cake on that one.
I try my best to have Will here, but every single time he always disappoints me. Will, get it together. I'm looking at you. Get it together, Will. Cry me.
We need Will.
Some graduate kindergarten, some of them not.
Most clever.
Hey,
Very clever.
Can I actually speak on the topic?
Go ahead.
Where I
Yeah,
live
sure.
is a meeting place where the settlers, Europeans, came west doing fur trading, met the Native Americans here, and it's a very big population. And this, you cannot go anywhere or any corporation, any school, any government office without about treaty lands, respect the natives, the Métis people, which are the offspring of the natives, and the Europeans, of which I am myself. Everybody is mixed up around here, and how important the lands are around here. Everybody's full of respect for all this now. You see it everywhere. You can't get away from it. It's kind of mandatory here.
And that's
And
beautiful.
I say respect it, appreciate the history,
How is that
love what you
beautiful?
have, but that's
And I said it's a smack to the face to the racists.
Everybody should be treated equally. Fight for it in the courts. You
It's not
can,
about
do fight,
it's not
and
about
hopefully we
treating
get it.
people. It's not about treating people differently. It's about acknowledging that there are racial differences between us. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to treat a person differently. We're not saying, oh my God, you got to treat someone. I'm saying that there are
all
differences, and
about
I
it.
believe race is a very real thing, no matter how people try
No,
to
it's
deny
not,
it. I believe it.
Amira. It's not.
It's all
Why?
about
I think
Why,
race
Clue?
is real,
Made up.
but I think
Wait,
it's just one.
Clue has
Made
not
up.
spoken yet. Clue has
Sorry.
not
It's
spoken
made
yet.
up.
Clue. How is it made up, Clue?
It's made up because okay, let's say this. Let's say somebody came along and they were going to divide people by eye color. Okay, you got the brown eyes, you got the blue eyes, hazel eyes. That's made up because you can have these things. You can have brown eyes, but not join this group called brown eye. It's made up. You can opt out of it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think I understand. I
No,
understand
I
what you're
don't.
saying. I do. Can I speak for a bit?
The black, like I said in the chat, these colors were used to denote hierarchy. That's it.
No, that is
Darker the
not-
color,
no,
the lower the hierarchy.
Well,
we're
Clue,
not talking about hierarchies. We're talking about, it's not even about black or white. It's about Caucasoid, Negroid, and what's the other one? Mongoloid.
These are the
That's what it's
lines.
about.
Race
That's
is
not how
not.
they divide it.
Caste is division. So he's right.
One at a time. I can't hear anyone when everybody's speaking at the same
That's
time.
not how they are dividing it. Because if a black person and a white person get together, the kids are automatically black.
That's true.
Well, that's I don't think that that's right to force the kid to
That's
explain
how
black.
that's their
program
system.
called-
it's the one
Can I
drug.
point out?
I would say
But
it's
that's not how it is
program.
today.
That's nurture. That's not nature, though.
Yeah.
But can I point
Yeah,
something out, guys?
exactly. That's not true.
Democrat program.
Well,
100
Clue,
years
you
ago.
mentioned that not everyone has brown eyes, and that's not true. Everyone has a brown eye. Only your significant other can see it.
What the
frick, bro?
What do you got,
What does that mean?
Why is he here?
He's talking about he go away.
You know what he's talking about.
Anyways,
The one that says exit only.
Mirror, you have to let Will be Will.
No, I don't have to do
Let me
anything.
listen.
Wait, what? Listen, we need a prayer session in the Pride. We need a prayer session. Everybody join hands.
Did I get my Bible?
Damn it. Is that Will? Oh, that's not Will. Okay. I thought he came back. I was like, no. I have him in timeout right now. Will, you're in
That was
timeout. You've been a naughty boy, and you're lucky I don't have my paddle here because you will be properly paddled. This is what
Can I
I
just
do. I
quickly-
have to train.
the lines that have been drawn by mankind. They are drawn by mankind. Is the Caucasian line, the Negro line, and the Magno, the Magno line. The three groups that basically it's also talked about in Darwin book. Those are actually man-made lines. No difference from border on a country. There is no real borders like lines on a map on an actual country.
Thank you.
You draw them in and say this is the locations we're gonna keep. Likewise, they made these boxes and says people with certain traits gonna be in this box, people with certain traits gonna be in that box. But in reality, there's a blend. You can find people from light, pale, because technically only two pigment in your skin, red and brown. That's the two pigments.
No,
you have.
orange. I think it's orange. I think it's red and orange, isn't it? Because brown is just orange, darker orange. That's it. I think it's
No,
orange.
I think it's red and pink, if I remember correctly from studying.
Because
I could
brown
be
is nothing
wrong.
but dark orange. Brown is just dark orange. Sorry.
Is it? Okay.
It is.
Okay. Anyways, there's only two pigments. Pigment. Everyone has that two pigments. It's just a matter of. Sorry, Paul. You were saying, Boa?
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube. The history of brown. You darken orange, change the light color, becomes brown, vice versa.
Okay. But those two pigments, regardless of what's in everyone has those pigments. It's just a matter of which ones become more predominant and less. And you have a whole hue from light pink, what you would consider white, to like dark black, which is like a dark kind of blue kind of color. But it's the same
Blue
two
undertone.
pigments. Yeah, it's the same two
yeah.
pigments. That's all it is. There really is no real lines.
There's only the four primary pigments.
It's only
Cyan,
the lines that are
magenta,
drawn and put in front of
yellow and gray.
In the human
Now
skin?
you mix those and come up with other colors, or you make them lighter or
3
darker.
for light, 3 for paint. Blue, red, and green for light. Blue, yellow, and green for blue.
No,
yellow,
cyan,
red.
CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and grayscale.
Oh, you guys are thinking actual color. I'm talking human pigments.
Pigments, yeah, pigments is when you
Human.
cyan,
They're doing
magenta,
yellow,
yellow, and
theory.
grayscale.
It's called
Yeah.
color theory. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Mm.
But yeah,
Lighter
thank
is
you,
tint,
guys.
darker
Wait.
is a shade.
Oh, go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
I was going to say, lighter is called a tint. Darker is the shade. That's for paint. What matters.
Oh, okay, guys. I've planned on being here for 30 minutes. I'm at the 2-hour mark. It's late. It's late, and the thing is, I did not expect my whole crew to come here. I'm just so happy to see all of you, but I need to sleep because you see, you see these bags under my eyes. You see, I didn't have that before. until Will started coming onto my stream.
The
Now,
queen needs a beauty sleep.
Yeah, it's gonna have to start getting your hair done.
until Will
It's
started
only
going
10
on that
o'clock
gray hair.
over there. It's only 10 o'clock over there.
Yeah,
No, it's late.
I could use
Got
it.
that heavy hair.
That's
Streaming
you
at
don't
24
have
hours. So.
grandkids yet.
It's 11. It's 11 where I am. So I need to go night-night because, like I said, and Will being here more is just like stressing me. So I need to go, guys. But thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys so much. Can you guys show up more often, like together, where we can get together as a family? Because this is hard to do. It's hard. So please, can you guys do this more often? I appreciate it.
We'll
Thank
try.
you.
Try to make it every stream if
Very
I
grateful
can.
to see you. Hope you have a great week ahead.
Thank you
Yes,
so
you
much.
too.
Have a great night, guys. Good night, Boa.
I'll
Oh, I
send
think
you
Boa.
by email.
Enjoy
Okay.
your week.
All right. Thank you, Boa.
I will send you by email. Good night.
Okay.
And I
Thank
just
you,
wanted
Boa.
to say one last thing to like.
No, Will.
Okay, I'll save it for your Rumble.
And there, I
It was
wasn't here
gonna be
earlier
that
during the
bad.
stream. Did
Ah,
you guys play any more Barry
Clever.
White? Did I miss that?
No, we didn't. We
Not
didn't.
tonight, we
But
didn't,
we
no.
might do that next
Damn it.
time. Yeah,
That's
we might
right.
do it
Not.
next time. Good night, Maverick. Good night, Will. Goodness. Good night, GB. Bye, GB.
you will.
GB is so muscular.
Yeah.
Good night, Bad Dog. Good night, Clue. It's so nice. Well, yeah. Good night, Clue. I'm sorry you weren't able to stay longer, but you just got here, so I'm sorry. But
Good to see you back.
thank you. Happy to be here. Samuel, you can let yourself out.
You see how
All right,
good she
guys.
is? All right.
Look, you have the key, Samuel. You have the key to get in. So thank you guys so much for being with me tonight. I don't know if I'm going to do a LaPie show tomorrow, but if I do, it will be around 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. It has been such a pleasure. It turned into something that I didn't think it was going to turn into. I did not have energy when we first began. I was very tired, and I had like a wind of energy, and now I'm tired again. So have a great weekend for the rest of you. It is Memorial Day weekend, so please, this Monday, do not forget to honor the people who have fallen for this country. Do not be like the liberals and forget those who are protecting us and who have protected us and died for us. Don't be like them. We are different from them. I do recommend going to, army bases or what have you, going to cemeteries, like, military cemeteries, do things like that. And also there's plenty of speeches and stuff that people hold as well for Memorial Day. I wonder what Joe Biden is going to do for Memorial Day. I remember last Memorial Day, or was it the one before, he was bored out of his mind when there were soldiers speaking at the death. I believe it was at the death of a fallen soldier. This man was over there checking his watch as if, I guess pudding time was coming up, pudding time. I wonder what he's going to do this Memorial Day. Let's keep a lookout for that. Let's see what else. I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I appreciate the crew coming in strong for me tonight. I appreciate you, even though it is a late stream today. I appreciate. And I think with that, I'll yield my time. Good night, guys. Have a great weekend.